Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Modiphius. We're excited to be back here. Uh, Sorry about last week, but we're all a bunch of Fallout nerds, so we all wanted to go binge this season. Speaking of which, if you liked Fallout, if you like the series, if you like anything, I hope you know that Modiphius makes a 2D20 system for Fallout, and right now it's 33% off because of all of our friends in Vault 33. So yeah, hit up Modiphius, check that out, buy some Fallout gear. It's amazing. Also, if you're a smaller streamer or smaller content creator with, say, under 1,000 followers, check out Modiphius's socials because currently running a very cool contest for Dreams and Machines. So check out every single one of the socials, sign up, and we're talking big prizes here. Like we're talking hundreds of dollars. We're talking really cool stuff. But see, that's all like Dreams and Machines and Fallout. We're here for sandworms and spies. And this is where things get interesting. In case you don't remember, or in case you need a little bit of a recap, our four agents of Atreides here have been sent to Arrakeen to make sure that the residency in Arrakeen is up to snuff, that there's plenty of regality and availability of things that would be good enough for House Atreides. They're also there to find any Harkonnen spies that may be lurking amongst the household. As we found out, it also seems that each of these fellows of House Atreides all have agencies of their own, and there are plans within plans for each and every one of them. Sister Demir Azul has been going around and making sure all of the handmaidens are doing what they should, and has already upset the staff a little, interestingly enough, by taking Talora, the longest working housemaid of this residency, and demoting her in order for Weasel to be promoted and replacing Talora in her duties. This has caused quite a stir. Then we have Novier, who during the large family breakfast that was going on for all the employees, decided to begin ingratiating himself to the chef, Basima. Usually a wallflower, usually behind the scenes, Novier decided to get on the inside in this way. Also, because of plans within plans, seems that there's something else that Novier does very, very well. And now he is where all the food is. Arizu Reese, the heir to Minor House Reese, was doing his duty, going down, checking the basement, and found two of the staff. Razi, who's a sullen early 20s housemaid, and Arvio, lazy, shiftless, dirty, tries to avoid work, sitting down to play cards with a bottle of expensive Carino brandy being split between them, making his appearance sudden. Arvio went to grab the bottle of brandy to hide it and dropped it, shattering it. Now they are caught red-handed. And Arizu gave him a choice. Either confess what's going on himself, or he will tell the head housemaid. And a race ensued, strangely enough, running from the basement all the way up into the hallways and running right into Mara Nasil and, strangely, Demira as well. And beating him there, standing in the middle of the hallway. Erzuries composing himself very quickly. On the other side of this now interesting tableau, Arvio running around breathless, and he just looks at the group and hangs his head. But then we have Lyra. Sister Lyra Dew of the Bene Gesserit has been going around and befriending many of the younger, more skittish housemaids, telling them about the sisterhood and what it represents. And then left the Arrakeen residency to go into the city to find some more things. But that is not what she ended up doing. She went into the back streets, into the small shifty areas of the Arrakeen market, and found a message encoder who looked the other way, took an encoded message, took 5 Solaris, 5 coins, into a small child's hand, gave him the message, and off he ran. Lyra. It's hot in this small, tight messenger's office. That grubby man, feet still on the desk, pays you no mind. What are you doing as you're waiting for confirmation?
I'm assuming there's a small chair in the area.
Yeah, no, there's a waiting room.
Definitely sitting on a chair, completely motionless, like kind of meditating to myself, but watching the man behind the desk.
Okay. The crowd is loud outside. You hear people hawking wares. And you just get lost in thought, and you're reaching out and just feeling everything around you. And you don't know how long it's been, but you suddenly hear this. Excuse me, Sister Lyra?
Yes.
Stepping into the door is a rather nondescript person, to be fair. Middle-aged, dark hair, dark skin, very slight blue tint to the eyes. Wrapped in just simple clothes. Has a small badge that identifies him as a water seller. And he looks at you and nods. Could you come with me, please?
Lyra just stands up without a word and follows.
The moment you're outside, he walks close to you. He says, I am Nia. We have received your message. We're going to a safe house. How long can you stay?
As long as necessary.
I was in the market watching the 4 of you arrive. I saw the interesting play that one of the sisters did.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the woman with the knife?
Compatriot of mine. No further details needed.
Understood. And you're making your way through this series of alleys, series of just endless turns back and forth, and then into just where residences are. Simple places, clay doors, some metal, some thatched. Very simple, poor economic area. And he just kind of stops and looks a couple directions. And you notice far above the door, far above the lintel, where people normally wouldn't look, there's that small Delta sign that was also on the window of the messenger service. And he opens the door and he ushers you in. And you see there's a very small table, low to the ground, cushions around it. There's a pitcher of water sitting and waiting, and what looks like just some room temperature fruits, vegetables, small tins of rice. And he sits down and he looks at you a little exasperated. I did not expect you to send out contact this quickly. What is wrong?
I don't have much time.
What do you mean?
The family's going to arrive soon. I need to establish contact immediately.
How high of a contact do you need? I can
You
get some
know,
of the.
you know who I'm talking about.
It is, ma'am, it is difficult to go between Arrakeen and Carthag right now, especially with the handover.
Oh, I'm sorry. That must be very taxing on you. I get
If
it.
they find out once this family makes planetfall, if they find out I've been doing anything for House Harkonnen, I am dead.
We'll all be dead, which is why you need to hurry up and do what I tell you.
He just, there's both fear fear and just that look of impending doom that crosses his face. He knows how dangerous this is, but he also knows that he cannot refuse. So he just very quietly picks up a small glass of water.
You know, there are worse fates than these people finding out that you're working for the other family.
That already means death. What is worse than that?
Kept alive and doing things that you don't want to do. Death is merciful. Don't you know that?
How can I reach you once? Right now, he is in a spice field doing some of the last mining before the handover in a few days. I may be able to get him here. I can get a message to him.
Getting him here would be better. A message would be fine. We're doing this for a better cause. You know this.
I know. And I understand the plan. I just. I will personally take the message to Carthag. And I will try to get him back into the city.
Thank you. That's all I'm asking. As far as contacting me, I'll give you 3 days, in which case I will return to see if you've made contact.
That's pushing it very close.
Then don't fail.
He has to be off planet in 4 days before they arrive.
Mhm.
I will leave tonight. This building is safe. I hope you remember the path.
I have a pretty good memory.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And he just kind of like sits very quietly for a long time.
Lyra
Finishes.
leaves a name with him, written down,
Okay.
and it's one of the young handmaidens. Oh my gosh, I don't have my notes on one of the girls. What were their names?
Which one? Shala?
Yes, Shala.
Okay.
Yes. If you need to reach me, you can find this young handmaiden, and you can get a message to me.
He looks at it and he just kind of like cocks his head quizzically and looks at you. Okay. Um, I can send a courier to the residence, sure.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And he finishes that glass of water and he immediately gets up and you hear him beginning to put a desert kit together.
Yeah. Lyra turns on her heels, and as she's like getting ready to charge forward, like she takes a deep breath and like puts her hand on her belly, like taking a beat, and then pulls her hood up and keeps walking.
Okay. Lord Reese in the hallway with Sister Demira and Mara Nasil and the ashamed head hanging gentleman Arvio.
I will note that Demira is making sure to be hidden from this scene for reasons, but
Yes.
is still in the area.
Yes. I remember very well what you're trying to do. Erzu, Mara looks between the two of you and she kind of cocks her head at you for a second. What has he done?
Well, Arvio, what have you done exactly?
He kind of looks down. Madame Nasil, I was cleaning the basement and I accidentally knocked over a bottle of the Carino brandy and it is shattered. And I know it is not very easily replaced, but I'm clumsy and lazy and I'm sorry.
Arzu is looking directly at him in a way that kind of just says like, do you want me to tell the truth or do you want me to cover you, kind of a thing?
He is not looking at you. He's looking down.
Okay. Cool.
And Mara kind of, her shoulders sag a little bit. And then she looks back at you. That smirk, that eyebrow still cocked.
Mm-hmm.
He broke a bottle of the brandy?
Seems to be the case.
Arvio, your shift was not in the basement. What were you doing in there?
Does he look up now?
Nope. He's
Okay.
just he is tight. He is just looking down. The man is scared. I was following Razi, seeing what she was doing. There are rumors that she is seeing someone amongst the staff, and I wanted to see if...
Let me stop you right there, Marvio. You see, the reason that gentleman Arvio was in such a rush to get up here first is because he hoped that he could sculpt the truth, as it were. And I don't want to see Razi in any sort of involved in any sort of way. So Gentleman Arvio was down there enjoying himself a little bit of a break and some cards. And when he noticed my presence, it's when the bottle was broken. Correct?
Arvio is... There's two forms of being afraid. There's one that you're visibly trembling, but you're trying in order to like buck yourself up, that fight or flight response. And then there is resignation. You're resigned to death, it seems. He is the latter. He is slack. He is sullen. His head is down.
Mara, what is the normal punishment for such a thing?
Normally, he would be chastised and unpaid, perhaps given another shift outside during the high point of the sun, making sure that the palm trees are growing well, being sent on errands to the spice mining. In this case, he's in dereliction of his duties, and he's involving other staff members, and he has broken an irreplaceable bottle. I'm willing to cut him from the staff right now and send him back, packing all of his things to try and scrape a living in Arrakeen and out of this residency.
Interesting.
We have no time or place for that. I am sure your lord and lady also have no time and place for that.
If I may, Gentleman Arvio, what do you think you deserve?
He is really quiet, and then he looks up, confused.
Don't say nothing now. I'm trying to save you from a pretty harsh fate, so I need you to say something. What do you think you deserve?
I don't understand.
Well, you ain't got long to catch up, so answer the question.
I do not work here very well. I take what money I earn and I spend it. I would like to keep my position. I How hard are you trying to get him to say something?
Not very hard, because I'm
Okay.
trying to decide if it's worth it to give him a second chance or if it's better to cut him loose. But I'm trying to like basically give him a barrier between himself and Mara before she just goes get the fuck out of here. You know, like, because if his reasoning is good enough, then maybe I would vouch for him. But if he's just kind of like, I don't know, I feel like I should get to stay, that's that's not gonna really cut it. Because RZ will stick his neck out for a certain group of people, and right now RVO's not really feeling like that group of people.
Right.
All right,
He
well, go on.
he's shuffling and he's just like, I need the money. I wish there was another way I could earn more. I do not feel that I need the job. I just have a hard time doing the work. I feel like I could be doing better things. Mara is, as the heir of a minor house, you know staff. You know the Atreides staff since you're their ward. You have seen staff members getting chewed out. There is this ominous feeling coming from Mara. She is standing, her posture is ramrod straight. She is, seems like every muscle in her body is tense. And she's just staring him down.
Mara, I have a great deal of respect for how you run things and your ability. So I don't want to step on toes. You let me know if I'm stepping on your toes here, but I happen to know someone that might be able to get him out of your hair, and for whatever it's worth, keep any guilt off your conscience.
What are you proposing, Lord?
So RVO feels like he doesn't do the work very well. I happen to have a friend in House Atreides, a Mentat friend. Might have some use for him. He's got to find his way to get to a messenger to handle it, but you can cut him loose and he can at least attempt to work for House Atreides. If this friend of mine thinks he is suitable, and he is staring, like, regardless of whether RVO is looking up or not, he is staring like straight through him at this point, like this is your shot, fucking take it or leave it.
He kind of shuffles a bit. I have debts. I have large debts. They're my fault.
Well, House Atreides won't be thrilled to hear that, but and then he kind of like over his shoulder back at Mara. Tess owes me a couple of favors, so you reach out to friend of mine named Tess. she will see what she can do for you. You will go to wherever it is you can get a message off world. You will ask to speak directly with Tess Cleostrat. And you will tell anybody who asks that it is from Lord Reese. And if they give you any trouble, you just tell them you are in the second year of your harvest and you would like to see it bountiful.
He kind of cocks his head slightly. And then thinks about it and nods.
That's your shot. If you can't do that, I can't help you.
He kind of stands up a little straighter. And he looks at Mara. And he seems actually rather, it's not contrite. It's honest. He's like, Madam, I am sorry I have failed you. And she looks at him, just kind of up and down. Reaches into her pocket and pulls out a handful of coins. Walks over and places them into his hand. Those are the end of your earnings. Please gather your belongings and exit the residency and go see this messenger.
Arvio, Tess Cleostrat, House Atreides. You are in the second year of your harvest and you would like to see it bountiful.
Second year, bountiful, Tess Leostrat. Thank you, sir.
Good luck.
And he just immediately turns and starts heading toward the male residencies. Demira, while this is going on, you're out of sight, hearing all of this. What are you doing? What's your reaction during this entire interlude?
Demira's been listening to the situation, but also positioning herself to see the interaction taking place. But she's also trying to see if it presents an opportunity for her to take advantage of the distraction, especially since she's trying to get access to that room because she feels like there's probably more that needs to be looked through. So it's kind of like one of those things where it's just like kind of taking advantage of the interaction, the fact that the focus, especially Mara, is focusing strictly on what's happening with I'm blanking on you just said his name and I almost said Arzu. It's not Arzu.
Arvio.
Arvio, yes. I'm like, it's not Arzu. Okay. Arvio. And basically trying to position myself kind of like, again, working very subtly, trying to get close enough to, and paying attention to where the keys are located on her person.
Okay. Let's see here. Mara has a many layers to the robes and shawls that she's wearing. Like you couldn't really even see where, like at first, where she would be having anything where coins would be when she went to pay Arvio his final wage. You do know that approximately where her crysknife is. Give me a yay, first roll of the game. I would like an understand skill check, please.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Mhm.
because you're trying to figure out,
No, that makes sense.
yeah, like, because you're not moving, you're not using any of your discipline, you're not trying to communicate anything, and you're not trying to stab anybody, but you're trying to understand a person and say how they move, how they carry themselves.
Mhm. Because I'm assuming that during that interaction, I wouldn't have been able to basically take it off her person then.
Probably not. No, she was in very high alert,
Okay.
like getting ready to either smite or what was I? Yeah, like smite or kill or something. She was waiting to do something to RVO.
Okay. Well, I want to, okay, let me see. So, because the thing is that I do have subtle steps. So,
Mm,
I'm able to sneak and pass unseen through an area.
mhm.
If I'm basically focusing on doing so. So that's kind of what during that interaction, I'm trying to get as close as possible in order to basically while she's, I probably would have saw
Oh,
her
okay.
reach. Yeah, so that's the thing is that I wanted to try to basically use the distraction as a way to like go unseen because of the fact that she's smaller and because of the fact that she usually does like to kind of be one with the shadows when she needs to kind of have an ear to what's going on or like take a gander. And so that is kind of what I was doing is trying to kind of position myself throughout that conversation and the interactions. But of course, if Mara reached into her, you said she reached into her bag or pocket or something, obviously Demira would not be trying to snatch it at that
Okay.
given time. Because she's been watching the whole time. Because when that interaction where Arzu ran and so did RVO, that whole interaction kind of was like, oh, here's a golden chance to potentially
Right,
get
right,
what I
right.
need.
Let's see here.
And we don't have to like retro. If
No, no, no,
'cause
no.
that's totally okay. I just want to try to see.
I want to know.
And understand still works because I have deductive reasoning.
Shit. Okay, I will let you choose.
Okay.
You can either during that moment, her reaching in and pulling out and moving toward him,
Mhm.
I will give you a choice to either use understand to find out where on her body would where she would keep the keys,
Mhm.
or move and subtle step to attempt to steal them. Naturally, the latter, is going to be much more difficult
Yeah.
because you would be going in blind. So I would give you an understand at
Okay.
I would give you an understand at a difficulty 2, but if you're actually actively trying to take them blindly, that would be that's like that's more than just like a daunting challenge.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
I would then it makes more sense then to do understand for sure.
Okay.
I'm going to do duty because I do what must be done.
Yep.
And
And you have a focus, deductive reasoning. Yep. Oh, wow. Look at them. So, in combination also with your hyper awareness,
Mm,
you can immediately map where things on her body would be because you know how fast she moves. She had that crysknife blade to your throat ridiculously fast. Her movements are very precise. The keys are on the left side of her sash, about 2 layers in. The coins she grabbed are right near the handle of her crysknife. As you could probably ascertain that would be easy if someone was trying to mug her. She could be reaching, pulling out a small pouch of coins, and then go to hand it, and her hand is right there next to her crysknife. The keys, however, are tied on a knotted string that you did see when she pulled them out, but they are on the left side of her body.
Okay.
They would be hard to grab because they're, a few layers of clothing in. It's not like you're reaching into somebody's like outer suit pocket or something, but it's possible.
Okay. And she's still interacting at this point
Oh, yeah.
with,
Yep.
okay.
Like this is the big, like, go get your shit, go get out of there. Erzu's repeating the message and all of that. There is a chance to do it, but the difficulty will be high.
Well, at least now she knows where it's at or located. If she needs to try to find Mara later, but at least now it's like, okay, left hip, knowing the location. Unfortunately, not being able to take advantage of the little tiff that happened, but at least it's more knowledge.
Okay.
So she, Demira, still uses the distraction to slink away.
Okay.
And go to look for Weasel.
Novier.
Yes.
The kitchen is hot. Like, it's oppressively hot. It's there. The air conditioning just doesn't even bother to work in here. But it's oddly pleasant. Basima is like just going through the rolls, getting lunch ready, and just really enjoys your company. And is a little sad when you say that you have to go do duties elsewhere, but does absolutely welcome you back at any time. You are allowed to come back to the kitchen whenever you would like. Where are you going to go after this?
I'm actually looking at the map right now. So, okay, that's the kitchen. There's the pantry and the storehouse. The ballroom. Where do you think, because I want to check in with the other stewards, right? Because that was like my main goal. Where is somewhere where I could like call a meeting to meet the rest of the stewards?
Specifically the footmen?
Well, I was more of a messenger. I'm more of a messenger for House Atreides, correct?
Yes.
What about the messengers? People who are always moving around.
Okay. That would mainly be Nava. She was the one that was complaining that she does all of the work all of the time.
Yes.
Nava seemed to be the one that everybody talked to and talked, and she seemed to know a lot at the table.
Could you give me could you please remind me the physical description of Nava again?
Yeah, she is again, dark of skin, thin hair, has that slight eyes of a bod, just very, very slightly, probably late 30s. She was the one that she was working right up until breakfast. Her hands were still a little dirty. She was the one that was not really loud, but always saying that she's the one that does all the real work.
Hmm.
Because like, saying it's like, oh, I tidy up after you and things like that. Constantly not really harping, not nearly as much as Talora did, the eldest
Hmm.
working servant. But definitely seemed to be the I wouldn't say center of attention, but maybe more the center of information. She
I
seemed to
want
know a
to
lot about people, and people would talk to her.
take Nava around a little
Mhm.
bit, right? Like kind of like have her walk me around, I guess, the residency.
Mhm.
But then also like I've snuck out like a few like breakfast pastries and like little things like that in order to gift to Nava as well. And we eat as we talk.
I love that. Yeah. God, you're laughing and you're gonna make me cough. Finding her is really easy. She's actually just outside finishing a shift in the linens area. And
Oh,
as you approach, she kind of
yeah.
like looks at you for a second, and it's just like, sir, if I don't may I ask you a question?
Nava, of course. Please.
What were you doing during breakfast? Were you cleaning plates?
I would say that that is a good habit that I've picked up from being in House Atreides.
Huh.
We work where we are needed.
Huh. Well,
And as I say that, I start folding some of the linens with her and I put like the croissants down right next to her.
she just kind of like looks at you appreciatively. He's like, I'm always finishing tasks for everyone else, and I appreciate that. You step in when you should.
Oh, I mean, I definitely get that. I would love to hear about that. And what I'm trying to bake her into right now is I want you know when you meet a complainer
Yep.
and then you let them complain
Yep.
and it's basically like them hitting the lottery.
Yep.
I want to coax her into complaining so I may gain more information.
She immediately starts just dumping info about everything, talking about how Chakir is obviously in some sort of relationship. She's not really sure who, but he may be two-timing on both of them. There may be a
Okay.
third lover somewhere in the city.
Oh.
She gets really mad at Jamelia, because the moment Jamelia is done with any sort of work, she immediately goes back out into Arrakeen. Like when it's done, she's done. So she tries to be in Arrakeen more than she's even in the residency. And Weasel is also, and it's funny. So Weasel is pronounced Weasel. She pronounces it Weasel,
Weasel. Yeah.
because Nava has seen that Weasel has been looking around and like looking very interestingly at everyone that works at the residency, and she's been very quietly uh you know she seems really sneaky, especially now that the four of you are here.
Mhm.
The moment you guys made planetfall, the moment Mara went to pick you up, Weasel is just like setting things up, making sure things are in place, but is also really curious. So yeah,
That
she
is
says that so Weasel is quiet and very serious, but also really sneaky. Jamelia just fucking takes off to Arrakeen whenever she can. She's one of the very, very nervous ones. And then Shakir, he's doing something not right with what sounds like 2 or possibly more people.
Okay. I think I take a mental note of Wisal at this point. Because I think if I'm going to follow a lead between the 3 of them, Wisal would be the first one. Shakir could just be 2-timing or 3-timing or 4-timing or whatever, right? So that's not too much of a worry when it comes to like safety and security. It might bring embarrassment to the house, but I'm not too worried about that. With Jamila, wasn't Jamila one of the other handmaidens that that Lyra was dealing with, or no?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave. I've seen Lyra at work. I'm going to leave Jamila to Lyra. So I think I'm gonna follow up with Wisal.
Yeah, Jamila
nobody's
and
currently working on Wisal, right?
Oh,
no. you are working. Okay.
Oh yeah, no.
Well, I'm heading towards Wisal as we speak.
Let's meet up. Okay, let's do a scene together. Let's meet up.
Shala and Jamelia are the 2 that Lyra specifically has brought into the Lord's bedroom and all of that in order to do that. She's gaining info on them.
Yeah. And I think as I finished like with the linens, like some of the some of the breakfast pastries are still there. Has she touched any of them, or is she like a little? Was she too focused on talking about this?
Oh stuff? No. Like right in the middle, like you would be folding something, she would be talking. You would kind of like you'd when someone, it's not really the or yeah, what? It's not that, but when you're active in the conversation of trying to hear someone, the moment you start saying it's like, oh really? Well, what about that? You always hear this. Okay, so no, she is fucking chewing down.
She's going. Okay, cool.
Oh yeah.
All right.
And she's at the end, she finishes a few of the pastries. She actually very delicately folds the linen that they were on and puts it into her pocket to take it back to wash.
I probably brought a plate with that then, correct?
Oh, you brought a whole plate?
Well, whatever was carrying the. No,
I thought you just brought a couple, but no.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I brought enough to necessitate a plate.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. And so I think I take the plate and I kind of like we kind of like both like give like a cute look to each other, and I like dust off the plate a little bit, and I tell her I now have one more dish that I'm going to need to take care of. But I take the dish with me when I go and try and find Wisal.
Okay. Do you ask her where Wisal could be?
Yeah, if you don't mind. Is that too intrusive?
Easy.
Okay.
No, that's real easy. Right now she should be in the grand foyer.
Oh, that's actually really close to us. That's just a couple doors down. So, or relatively.
Yeah, well, relatively. Like,
relatively.
It's just a couple squares on the map.
Yeah, it's just a few squares on the map. Yeah.
Fucking massive. So, okay. And Demira, you're on your way to find Weasler. You just walking around.
I have the information for where like the employees and
oh right, yeah, you have the schedule.
Yep.
So yeah, at this time of day, Weasel would be in the grand foyer.
And I am heading there to inform her of her new duties.
That's very close. It's actually just down the hallway from the office. It's that very large, meant to be imposing, just massive area with that huge sandworm motif on it. As you, Demira, walk in, you see that Weasel is there. She has a small rag, and she is just very, very delicately going in into all of the recesses of the relief on some of the lower areas that are reachable without any sort of stool or anything. And almost it seems diligently, almost to the point of reverence, cleaning out the small bits of accumulated dust and shining where the the edges of where one of the great sandworm pictures are, dusting the moon, just being very, very intricate with it, and does not hear you, or at least does not seem to hear you approach.
Okay. Just remind me, I know I'm the worst right now with all of the names, and please forgive me.
Okay.
The woman who is the older woman who basically was demoted,
Talora.
Talora. Okay, Talora. Okay, thank you. As I'm observing this, and still basically trying to go like pretty carefully, like kind of inching forward and trying to get a closer look at the area that she's focused on. And do I notice, like, for example, she's focused on the outlines of the tile, is it tiles?
Yeah, the tiles
Yes.
and the sculptured relief of the sandworm.
Now, would it appear that that specific area compared to the others, like something had been tampered with? Like perhaps, yes, she's cleaning it, but at the same time, usually you can tell if it's like the ground or the in between a material, like if it's like it looks a little bit thinner, or like maybe something was done to it compared to the rest of the wall, like especially something I feel like this house has been around for a while, something that would be kind of noticeable.
It seems that she is spending more time on the details than the overall piece itself.
Okay, like so, like the kind of the kind of like if somebody wanted to try to have it where they could remove the tiles to put something there potentially.
Yeah.
Okay, noted.
The corners, the grooves, like the impressions of the
Right.
sandworm skin, working
Right.
on like very, very carefully on each one of the hundreds of long serrated teeth in the image. Tracing around the little Fremen figures.
She's going to get close enough. And then she's going to slightly bend forward. I see you pay attention to detail. Impressive.
She doesn't even no nervousness, nothing.
Noted.
Thank you. I find that spending time in the narrow parts focuses oneself to see a larger picture. She kind of steps back and just gestures to the huge mural.
That would explain your conversation earlier this morning with my Lord Reese.
Yes. He is wise.
He is.
And very serious.
Well, he has different sides too. One of them can be very serious.
How may I help you, ma'am?
Well, I've come to inform you of your new position.
She kind of like sits up a little bit. What new
Congratulations.
position?
Yes, this day forward, you will be taking over Talora's position. You will be considered the head, not the tail.
She kind of like cocks her head for a moment, not confused, but kind of processing, puzzling. So I will be taking her duties. I will be taking her shifts. her
Correct.
shifts require more time out into the city.
Yes. It's an honor to be trusted in such a manner. I was impressed
Right.
with your conversation from this morning. And it seems you have fresh ideals. Let's see them put to use for the good of this household going forward.
Hmm.
Does this concern you?
No.
You will now be reporting to Mara directly about your comings and goings, and she'll be paying attention to your tasks. And she'll also inform me of your performance.
It is much appreciated. Thank you. And she looks up just past you as Novier comes walking in.
I have high hopes for you.
I am pleased that
saw.
you see the benefits in me.
Oh, yes.
And she kind of like sits up and again looks right past you as Novier comes walking up. Are you here to tell me that I have also have a promotion? Because I did just hear it from the madam here.
Oh, no, Wissal. Oh, Sister Demira, very nice to see you today.
Good to see you as well.
I wanted to suss something out.
Okay.
Well, with okay, so I specifically have the Assassin's Handbook with
Yep.
me, and I'm assuming that I've gotten to read this in and out and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I want to make some sort of sussing out move. Can I notice something about, say, for example, like the scars on her hands or the way that she moves or how she's calm under pressure? Could I set up some sort of trap to where I can suss her out as a physical danger?
Hmm.
I have an idea, and it's going to be very dumb, and I'm sorry.
I would say that do you have a talent, not improvised weapon, that would help in this?
So, I have the slow blade, but that's making an attack during a duel
Yeah.
or skirmish. I've hidden motives, where I'm a master at concealing my intentions and motivations.
Oh. Okay. That's the one that if they fail a understand or communicate test, they you get to just come up with something that they believe about you.
Yes.
Okay. I could see that working.
Okay.
So what are you trying to set up?
I'm trying to, you know what? Okay, this is Trevor. Please tell me no on this one if you if you feel inclined to. Okay.
I'm already thinking in my head.
Mhm.
This is gonna be there's going to be a number of successes needed for this.
Yeah. But
I want to.
is there a way to help? Because Demira
There-
has her own way of, like, depending on what Novier does, to pick up on other clues.
There are absolutely ways that another person can help during a conflict. Yep.
So, I would like to test reflexes at this
Okay.
point. And as I'm walking up, what I want to do is I want to feign tripping, but throwing the dish that I had to where it is coming at her, and she is going to have to react.
Fascinating. Okay.
Like, you know that scene in Mr. and Mrs. Smith where he drops the wine
Drops the
bottle, and
bottle?
then
Yeah.
she catches it? This
Yep.
is kind of what I'm going for right now.
Yes.
Oh man.
Okay. All right.
With hyper awareness, Sister
Mhm.
Demira, you could see something being set up, especially since you were one of the people that kind of caught this deliberate smashing into a big water thief with a porcelain vase.
Right. I feel like
I'm
Demir would know that Novier's up to something, but there's a
Yeah.
reason behind it. And Demira already has her own her eye set on Weasel as well, because there's something it's something off that she's trying to pick up on, from especially from the detail work that was being done. So she's gonna let it go. She's gonna let it happen. There might be something that happens depending on the success to help said
Okay.
movement. I don't know if I have to declare that now or not. I forget the ruling on that, but
No. Yeah, this won't be an actual combat, so we won't worry about zones and attack sequences and all that. This is more of a Either way, Demira, it will be an understand roll for you.
okay. Hear me out.
Yeah, unless you want to,
Okay.
challenge it. Go. Let's
Um,
go.
The only reason is because of the fact that what she witnessed, and also to she was kind of, when she was telling her about the promotion, and she's like, oh, so I'm gonna be away from the house, and like kind of she was gauging that whole situation, and like her response, she's already suspecting that she's more than what she appears to be, but that also too leans towards thinking that like using the knowledge, because I have espionage for discipline. So
Oh,
I would like to argue that I suspect that she could be a plant. So especially because of what she was doing, because that's something that a spy could potentially do: place something in a hidden area, try to make it seem like, there's nothing there when there actually is. I think that Demira has suspicion, so using that knowledge of espionage, I think.
less of a social test, less of a mental challenge, more of a willpower kind of. Yeah, no, I'll see it. Yeah, I will
Okay.
allow that.
Okay.
So I would like Demira, since this is the setup mainly from Novier. Novier, your shit, I hate to even ask. What skill are you going to attempt to use for this?
So you know how
Because I want it to be like a move, or even honestly a battle. Because you are actively throwing something at someone to possibly injure or get a reaction.
So you know how Demira has espionage as the focus for their discipline?
Yeah.
I have counter espionage as
Oh,
my
come on,
discipline.
guys.
What?
Shit.
So so okay,
I can't with this.
if the primary goal is to suss out we sell, right? If the secondary goal happens to be I also tricked Demir at this point, that's cool with me, but that's not the point of what's happening right now. So I was trying to think about using like discipline and counter espionage because I'm testing somebody else's like skills, right? So
Okay.
would that be an okay roll?
I'll allow it.
Okay.
Okay, so Demira, I want, since you are assisting in
Yes.
this,
Yes.
I would like one die, discipline, whichever drive you're going to use with that. Just one, a 1d20 and with a focus.
Okay, so just one 1d20.
Yeah.
If I'm using espionage. Okay.
Yeah, this is because you are going to be using a focus. This will add, so this die roll will add to any possible successes. If you get a success, it'll add a success. Novier, this is a challenge rating of 3.
Okay.
This is a challenging thing you're trying to do. No, this is a daunting thing you were trying to do. So yeah, unless you want to give me threat, 2d20, use discipline and whatever drive.
I think the drive is the drive is going to be truth for sure. There's comfort at the beginning and the end of a weapon, and I'm using a weapon in order to suss out somebody.
You are
discipline. We're using truth. We are doing 2 dice. I'm not going to give you threat this time.
I mean, you could. More dice equal more successes. You need 3.
You need 3.
And you're rolling 2, and Demira's rolling 1.
How much threat do you already have?
I'm not going to say.
Come on.
Currently 4.
Okay.
Lord, that's too much.
And I feel like I've given you 3 of those already. I'm going to try. I'm going to try under my own power. I'm going to try under my own power on this one. So I'm hitting submit. Oh, no.
All right, here we go.
So I rolled a 20 on that, Trevor.
Yes, you did.
I rolled a 19. So I'm not seeing nothing from home girl. But let's see what happens. I wasn't assisting Novier necessarily. I was just trying to suss out our friend Weasel. And yeah. Yep. Everything's
For those
fine.
of you watching at home, this is the complete opposite of any other random D20 system you may know. Rolling a 1, fantastic. Rolling a 20, critically fucking bad.
This is great.
So you got 1 success. 1 out of 3, plus a 20, which is a complication. This is the scene. Weasel is speaking with Sister Demira, looks past her and sees you coming up and makes that statement. If you are also here to talk about her promotion, and you trip. The problem is that you actually trip. This isn't a stunt. There is a small lift in one of the stones in the grand foyer, and you hit it, and you were trying to toss this plate. But as you trip, your reflexes go to get rid of the plate in order to balance yourself. The plate isn't tossed. The plate is thrown. And hits Demira squarely in the rear left shoulder. It goes clattering the ground with a smash. Weasel immediately reaches out and grasps Sister Demira to try and move her out of the way after the impact has already happened. And immediately turns to you, Demira, and says, "Madam, are you all right?"
I will be shortly, I'm sure.
Immediately turns on Novier. "You clumsy oaf! What are you doing? Why are you even here? Why are you bringing any kind of glassware or dishware or anything to the grand foyer? That does not belong here."
I'm so sorry. I was looking. I was trying to meet, and he falls into just a stuttering mess.
Weasel, you still have work to do, and you have to prepare for tomorrow's task as well, especially since there will be new ones.
Well, if I am now in the position that you tell me I am in, You, and points directly at Novier. You will go get a broom. You will sweep this up. You will dust this. And make sure that that crack that you tripped over, make sure that it is either filled or make sure that it is either fixed, even if you have to give all the other footmen to do it. This is your fault. I'm going to go
Lysol.
speak with Mara myself.
Willie Saul, I think you are mistaken about Novier's position. His is far above yours here with House Atreides. Don't let that be misunderstood. Do I make
feel-
myself clear?
I feel like we all should take damage for that.
Emotional damage. Sorry, I had to do it.
I will apologize for my words.
No, that was my fault. My sincerest apologies, sister. My sincerest apologies. I will ask the footmen for their help as soon as I possibly can. And I think that Novier is hoping to turn this like terrible incident into a way to get all of the footmen like to speak to the footmen and give them time. So I'm hoping that I'm hoping that I can leverage looking like a complete idiot to get into the favor of the footmen.
Weasal turns to you, Demira. I'm sorry that I spoke above my station.
You did not know, so you are forgiven. Novier even stands above me, so therefore, heed your words going forward.
May I speak plainly, ma'am?
You may.
Why does one so clumsy have station over one so deft as you?
That is not for us to ask.
Hmm.
Duke has made his decision on who serves him, who he trusts. It is not for us to question that. I am trying to look out for you, because once the Duke and the rest of House Atreides arrives, they may not show the same mercy.
Then I will take over Talora's job. I will go assemble the other footmen for you, sir. And Talora should be heading to the market now, so I will take her place.
Thank you.
As I leave the residency, I will tell the other footmen to come in. Is this acceptable?
It is.
Thank you. And she immediately just sets the cleaning rag down very carefully and kind of bows slightly and just turns on her heel, starts heading toward the entrance.
Well, that was quite the scene you caused, Novier.
Sister, my sincerest apologies. I promise I will make this up to you. Is there maybe any sweets in the kitchen that you would like?
I don't prefer sweets. I prefer savory.
Well, maybe to Lord Reese? I know that you care about his I know you care about his well-being and his intentions. And are we just turning this into a battle of wits right now? Because now we're just trying to suss each other out.
I don't now you made it. You started talking about Lord Reese. She was just kind of like, okay, what's up, my dog?
I'm just gonna sit
injuring
back
me.
and sip my tea at this
I'm
point.
here. I'm here
Now
for the
you made it
messy
like-
drama.
What's up, my dog? Now she's really like looking at you with a little bit of a magnifying glass.
I got my tea. Go ahead, please, amongst you.
So what do you think you say to that?
Do you feel you know more about how to serve Lord Reese than I do?
Oh, no, no, sister. I was just making sure that you knew of my admiration for how close you are with Lord Reese, and uh, to uh, to be at the service of somebody so important is just an honor. I would think that he treasures you just as much, not just your skills, but your thoughts and your opinions.
Did you not overhear what I told Wisal? It is not my place to think of such things. That's beyond my station. I thought you would be aware of that as someone who's a servant of Duke Atreides.
Well, as somebody who is a servant, we both know that at times our servitude is more deft at making decisions for our lords. And I think he's trying to imply that, like, you and I both know that there are times where we have to follow orders, and there are times that we are setting up the orders ourselves.
Demira understands.
Yeah.
She is now, I will say that because of the fact that I'm assuming that you have gotten up from tripping,
Mhm.
or you're kind of fixing yourself. Can I do something because of the fact that I saw the interaction happen with the dish, with the plate? I want to pay attention now, which I have not done yet, to Novier's hands and his musculature, and like a little bit about his physique. Now she's paying attention now, especially since he's having this conversation. She can look him, which you will see Demira. There is a difference, like where it's like her normal expression, which you can't really read. You can tell that she is like scanning at this point, but in a way where it's like you almost like you can just feel that the eyes, the really, really gray eyes are just focused on you. But you don't know quite what she's thinking, but you know that she's definitely now paying attention. You have her full undivided attention, where before you did not.
Wow. Okay.
But I do want to try to examine and pay attention to Novier a little bit more, and looking at his hands and like kind of his person.
I want to roll off.
Okay.
Demira, that will be an understand.
Yes.
I am fine with that.
But for Novier, it's not an understand for you. You're trying to hide your shit.
Yes.
That's a discipline.
Okay. All right.
The drives the two of you use are whatever, and the talents that you may use, please, by all means, use them.
All right.
But yeah,
I think
yeah,
for
this is
it's almost like a I feel like Demira in this situation, she's like, it's almost like a duty to figure out now, like, okay, now Demira is like, is there more than one person to be now paying even closer attention to? And so I think it's duty for her for this drive.
For
Okay.
me, I think it is faith, because I believe in my own skills enough in order to operate at this capacity.
okay. Are either of you spending the 1 point of momentum that's hovering around?
I'm not doing that. See, I'm not.
I'm gonna do it.
I was gonna say I know Brianna in real life. She might come over to my house and beat me up.
No, why? What the heck? Never. Why would I do that? Never.
No, I'm excited for this because if you
Okay.
do fail, there are consequences for you because of one of my moves.
There is.
Oh my.
Oh, wait. Oh no.
Oh my.
Oh, geez. What? How does this even? Oh, gosh. I don't even know.
This is the highest I feel like we've ever rolled ever.
It is.
Like, why doesn't this happen when I'm playing D&D? Like, I don't understand.
It never does. It's Roll20.
Okay, so there's one success on either side. However, Demira has a massive complication with that 20. And you will both also have competing talents. Demira, since you used the point of momentum, you can ask 2 questions per point of momentum spent about the situation or the obtaining of information.
Mhm.
However, Novier, you have hidden motives. You're a master at concealing your intentions. Since it's a stalemate, but there is that basically a critical failure, I will allow Demira,
Mhm.
and this is an above table thing, Demira will be able to ask Novier, so player wise, Udahime can ask JPG a single question. JPG can either tell the truth or lie.
Oh, God. And then whatever I say, Demira believes it, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
This just got wild.
So sorry.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
No. I'm trying to figure out how to, because it has to do, because I was paying attention specifically to his hands and also remembering from before. I don't even know if I can ask this question because now this is kind of tying to the previous situation. It's a very simple one, but it's one nonetheless that can actually come into play later. What hand, like with the when that plate was thrown, was it the same hand that you rushed forward with the pot?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I would say yes. I would
Okay.
say yes, definitely. It's the same hand. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, there was
Got it.
like I was like, "Oh, I could lie to you," but there's like that doesn't make it narratively fun.
I mean, you could have been like, you couldn't tell or whatever. That would have been fair.
No.
I
No,
did get a
it
20.
was
It's fine.
it was definitely the
Okay.
same hand.
Okay.
Well, now that we have suspicions brewing between players and not just the Atreides agents and the staff of the Arrakeen residency, I'm going to let the players and all of you in the audience simmer for about a good five minutes or so because I'm out of tea and we're on Arrakis, so we have to stay hydrated. So we're going to take a little break and we will get back in this very interesting episode of Dune Desertfall. We'll see you here in a moment. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Dune Desertfall here on Modiphius. Well, things just got really interesting as the 4 Atreides agents, well, 2 of them are beginning to suss out each other. with this interesting confrontation, it seems, happening between Sister Demir Azul and Novier, the steward for Duke Atreides, Leto Atreides, pardon me. But Lyra, you have been making your way back through the small streets and alleyways. It is a very surprising direct route, even though there are many turns. It's a very direct route right back to the residency. And probably about a block away, you see the large gates. And the gates are open to the residency. And you see out there that there are two of the footmen, specifically Cora and Umar. Cora being the very, very large one, and Umar is what seems to be the youngest of the group. And they're currently working on one of the hinges of one of the large doors, one of those large outer gates. And they see you coming, and they just nod very respectfully as you pass. And you see the main door just up that very long, huge sloped entrance. You see the main door open and shut. And, it takes a number of moments for you to cross paths. But you see Weasel slowly putting up her hood and beginning to drape a shawl around her mouth as she's heading seemingly into the market. And she just stops and bows as you pass.
Where are you headed to?
I have been promoted. I am taking Talora's jobs, so I am on my way to the market in order to purchase things for dinner.
I see. What's on the menu tonight?
I'm thinking we will have a local dish, less spicy, which will make Bismillah, not Bismillah, Basima angry. But I think it will be best for everyone to have a nice time around the table tonight.
I see.
Much different than this morning.
Do you think that putting said person at a disadvantage with their emotions is a right thing to do over dinner?
Let's just say it will have cooler heads amongst the table.
I see. You know them better than I do, so I will heed whatever it is that you want to do.
Thank you, ma'am. May I get anything from the market for you specifically?
Surprise me. Whatever you think I would like.
She kind of like glances at you, just like very, very quickly, just taking in your countenance. I have some ideas. Thank you and good afternoon.
Lyra just beelines.
And she just very casually walks away. You hear her snap something to the just way off in the distance. She just snaps something to the two working on the gate. And as you walk in, there is the remnants of something just happened. It's hard to see what, but you walk in through the main entrance and that grand foyer is there. Excuse me, a little raspy tonight. Demira and Novier are kind of like off on the side near the entrance of the hallway that leads to the office. And then Aisha, one of the kind of older late 40s housemaids, is there with a broom and is beginning to sweep up what looks like fragments of some sort of porcelain. Something just like something that fell, maybe. And
I look up.
Nothing is missing from the roof or the ceiling. But as the three of you begin to like as this tableau is set, the three of you and Aisha see Arvio, bag over his shoulder, dressed in simple city folk wear, not any of the clothing of the residency or staff. He has a very, very small, what seems to be a fitted leather cap with a small fabric hood draped over it. And he just kind of looks at the four of you there, just kind of nods and just walks right past you all.
Arvia, where are you headed to?
New job.
New
And he
job.
just keeps walking.
Demira doesn't really say anything except she takes the book that she had with everyone's name and their assignments, and she basically, you just see where she would scribble something, and she's scribbling basically next to Arvia's name, like basically dismissed, assigned new duty, like basically making a note of that. Someone else has to take on his duties after all.
Did I miss something here?
Oh, yes, you missed our friend Novier here. He seems to be unlucky when it comes to porcelain items.
That was you who made the mess.
It was not my intention.
What was your intention?
Oh,
Demira, you see where Demira, when that was the case, after that was said, where she kind of touches her shoulder, indicating that something is off, and then she kind of goes back to the book, making notes.
I think my intention has always been service. I may not be as deft as the sisters are, but it was purely an accident, and I sincerely apologize for it.
Once is an accident, twice is deliberate.
Well, sister, let's give Novier the benefit of the doubt. I do accept your apology. Let's
feel
not
like
make
I
a big
should-
deal out of it.
I feel like I should pull a move on this.
Oh, well, before you do that,
Okay.
I should also mention that with what she said, she's going to put a little bit of flavor on that
Oh no.
situation. So I would choose wisely before you say something, because something else might come out of Lyra's mouth.
Dang! Okay.
I have heard the voice, so I think I am. I think I use this time to fill the room with my own silence. You know, like there's an apologetic quiet now after you have said that.
Good.
I
so
think
you'll
to the
listen
point.
me.
Yeah, so I think to the point where, like, are there other servants in the room when you say that?
Aisha's
Yeah.
Aisha's still there sweeping up and gathering the shattered porcelain.
Great. Okay, perfect. Is Aisha a gossiper?
She seemed to talk a lot to the other the rest of the staff at breakfast, but other than that, wasn't didn't really stand out.
Yeah, so I think my conscious choice is to fill the room with silence.
There's just this quiet sweeping and like just that, the sound, that porcelain on tile, onto a small wooden vessel.
Lyra steps forward and like to close the gap on Novier. So I'm assuming it's like Lyra, Novier, Demira. And if at all possible, DM, where are my two favorite servant gals?
They are they're not anywhere. Last time you saw them, they were in the they're in the royal part of the residency.
Perfect. So nowhere near.
No.
Excellent.
They would at least be down a very, very large staircase and beyond the main upper landing.
Perfect. Lyra steps into Novier, and using the voice, I apologize, my voice mod is not working. Lyra is going to say, "Tell me your truth."
Oh shit.
Oh no! Wait.
Okay.
Oh, that is a problem.
Oh,
okay, wait.
It's spicy.
Wait.
Kind of like that food that was served this morning. Oh.
Okay.
Fuck.
What
Okay.
does
Oh.
The fox say?
What does Cynthia have to roll for this?
You really want to know?
I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Right
Oh
now.
my god.
Well, it's a
Oh my
communicate.
god.
Let me, okay, I need to pull up, give me 1 second to pull up each of your sheets and roll 20 here. I have to look
Oh.
at some things behind the scenes.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be
be
suspicious.
suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
Oh,
Too late, Novier.
So I'm so glad Arzu's not here for this.
I'm coming for you next, baby.
Oh no. Leave him out of it. No, I'm just kidding.
okay, so Lyra, it's going to be a communicate. It's naturally going to be a communicate test. It will be it'll be challenging. So you'll need 2 successes.
Okay. I'd like to give you threat.
Okay.
Um,
How much?
okay, well, what's my, what
So
do I have
if
to
you
contest
give me,
against?
if you give me 1 threat, 1 threat equals 1 success. So then it's 1 for 1, 2, so the first one is 1, the second one is 2, the third one is 3. So to get 2 automatic successes, you're giving me 3 threat. If you want to give me 6 threat,
Oh, that's a bit much.
I'll give you 3 automatic successes.
That's a bit much.
It's very tempting, though, isn't it? It's very tempting.
I'm just thinking I'm thinking of the finale.
I know,
All
right?
the threat. I'm gonna prepare my mind in advance.
Okay, you know what? I'm
Go
gonna do
for
this.
it.
I'm gonna do the lower number. I'm gonna give you threat, but not that many.
Okay, so 2.
Yeah.
So you're gonna give me 3 threat total. Okay. So yeah, you'll be rolling 2d6, or sorry, 2d6, 2d20. If you have a focus, and what drive are you attempting to use?
I'm gonna use power, because I have, excuse me, my statement. Power is given to those who can keep their composure, and I don't think Novia can keep their composure when this happens.
Nope.
So therefore, I have the power in this situation.
Yep. So it'll be 2d20. It's going to be communicate composure, communicate power. However, before you roll that, Novier, I would like this is straight up discipline.
Oh god. Okay.
Straight up discipline. Problem is, like, what drive are you going to use for that?
It either have to be faith or duty. So problems are only solved in the quiet, or I uphold the light so it may create the shadows I operate in. What do you think?
I would say your faith statement would be a conflict.
Okay. Because I have to speak, because she's compelling me to speak.
Yes.
So yeah, so duty. So it'd be discipline and then duty.
Okay. I would like you to roll 2d20. Do you have a focus in discipline? Oh, you have counter espionage.
Counter espionage.
God, will that apply?
I feel like it does because she's trying to suss me out.
Yeah, but counter espionage is you're trying to.
It's not magic resistance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Counter
it's- yeah.
espionage is like, you know, spycraft, they know spycraft,
Okay.
you know how to get away with spycraft. This is tell me your shit, dude.
Yeah, this is not going to go well.
So yeah, 2d20, just give me 2d20 discipline
And-
duty, please.
All right, let's do it.
Hey, not bad.
I rolled a 1,
Yep.
but I also
means
rolled a 19.
that's automatic. You've got automatic 2 successes, which is rad.
Okay.
Lyra, may I have your roll? You already have 2
Dang
successes, 2 automatic successes.
I just rolled.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Novier. There's this strange moment where you see Lyra's lips move. But you are so entranced in the quiet that you have, that you were trying to maintain. Just that silence around you. And suddenly her voice just comes in, overbearing your will, your mind, everything. And you feel your body go slack. Tell her.
Oh, man. Okay. I think it comes, I think, Novier is very come under pressure, and I think I think Lyra pulls this from like their inner child at this point. Like this is how good this is how good the voice is working. So I think he says in a very rushed and meek tone, I serve this. Oh man. Okay. So I serve the goals of the Assassin's Guild and the goals of the Atreides. Wait, no, that's not what they're called, right, Trevor? The Assassins.
No, it's just they're just they're the assassins are known to exist.
Yes.
Like, yeah, but no, you are a member of the assassins, and you serve House Atreides.
Yeah.
At this point, Aisha, who was sweeping, this use of the voice was very overt. Even though you were close, it was out there. She has stopped sweeping and is very slowly backing away from this entire situation.
Am I awake?
You are conscious,
But
and
can
you know
I
that
move?
you're talking.
Can I move?
Slightly. You were
okay.
in awe of Lyra. Lyra is basically captures your entire awareness.
Okay.
And what has come out of her mouth is only truth.
What am I carrying right now?
Oh my God.
I'm not carrying anything. Wait, I was sweeping, wasn't I?
No.
Oh, it was okay. Then never mind. Please keep going with the scene.
Aisha was sweeping.
Lyra looks to Demira. That's again that subtle look that only 2 sisters would know. And it's the search him.
Demira, with that acknowledgement, approaches Novier and will swiftly, because she also has quick hands, check his person for whatever may be there.
Lord Reese, after the dismissal of Arvio, Mara kind of just nods to you, and in a rather different tone, she looks at you and says, "Can you come with me?"
I can.
She steps back to the office and unlocks it and goes inside. You seem like an honorable man. I'm sure that the incoming family would like to know certain things. She stops, kind of kneels down, and pulls out what looks to be a safe and begins very quickly, deftly dialing in a combination. And she pulls out this black leather wrapped, what seems to be like small, thin books. And she places it on the table. When Count Fenring left, I made sure to put any of the business materials that the other house had about the operations in this safe. These are these files. This is about the spice mining operations, production, profits. But some things are missing. And I don't know who by. Can you help with this?
I will do my best. You say that as if you have a suspicion that someone else was rooting through that safe there.
I have suspicions of people that are here. One of them just left.
Who is she referring to? Sorry.
Arvio.
Oh, okay. Well, RVO is sort of my family's problem now, so they'll sort them out.
I think whatever problems or any ties he has will be well handled off-world.
That we definitely agree.
But I believe you and I have the same ultimate goal. That something is amiss amongst these employees, shall we say, servants.
Mm-hmm.
And that something needs to be done about it.
Well, you're right. I do agree. And if I know Sister Demira, I know she rubs you a bit the wrong way, but she's likely moving some pieces around the board to come to that result.
She is crafty.
I say this with all the respect I can possibly muster, but you have no idea.
The fact she did not move when I held my knife at her throat, that told me everything.
You know, I think candidly, of course, She would hate to hear me say this, but I think she could stare down a sandworm and not blink an inch.
Hmm.
But that's you didn't ask me to come in here to extol compliments upon Sister Demir Azul. You asked me for assistance, and I am happy to give it. What do you think of Wasal?
I think she's quiet, but a very, very good worker. She's
Well.
noble.
All right. What are the other maids? There's Razi. There is Aisha, Shala, Nava.
Razi, she
Anything?
is difficult to befriend. I think she is seeing someone. Aisha, she's a chatterbox. Nava does all the work and is always complaining, sometimes even more than Talora. Shala is scared, as is Jamelia. But I think they will come around. I am happy that your sister switched the roles of Wiesel and Dolora. Dolora needed we have a saying, chopping of the roots.
Well, I think I'm familiar with what you're driving at. Who else would you suspect?
If you were asking me directly?
That's correct. Because you are the one that has the feeling that their files are missing. I mean, as far as you know, that there really should only be you having access to that safe, correct? Who else would even know that it was there?
It could not be Nava and it could not be Visal. They would not betray this house. If they did, I would know.
I notice that in your short list of people who you think it could not be, shout out Mapes is not on that list.
Shadow's Shadow Mapes is the most honorable person I know. She is the head housekeeper. She has been the head housekeeper. She is above suspicion.
I mean this with no disrespect, and I do apologize if you take it anyway, but who exactly is she in honor to?
This whole building. This is her pride and joy. She's looking forward to the Atreides coming. We have heard much about them. They will bring something special to Arrakis.
So I'm reading between the lines here. You are saying that she sees that as a benefit and not anything that she should be trying to sabotage.
Oh, are you asking like me, DM? Oh yeah, no, she's being very straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Atreides good, Harkonnen way fucking bad.
What about those footmen? I know we are down Arvio now, but there's Umar and Cora and Shakir.
Shakir is Shakir is a problem. Shakir is... He is a user? He uses other people to get his way forward. He manipulates. He is very cocksure. Very arrogant. They say that the loudest people hide the most things.
Noted. Well, if you would indulge me, I think I have a short conversation to have with Demira about Shakir, just to move a piece or two on the board, but I'll set him aside for now.
Umar is young, naive, needs to grow up, but Cora is going to take care of him and see to that.
Fair enough. I appreciate you sharing this with me, Mara. I understand it is not easy. I have just dropped into your place of business effectively and been told that I have to, tidy this place up. So I understand it can't be easy for somebody who knows next to nothing to come in here and start telling you what to do, but
we have been not many people for many months and years.
I just want you to understand that it is not my intention in the slightest to make any of this difficult for you.
I understand and respect that. I may have judged harshly when I first met you. I thought you were pompous.
Comes with the territory, I understand. As he kind of like gestures to the seal on his, like on the lapel of his coat, but there's a saying about House Reese that House Reese is not just built by the people, it is built for the people. And that means more to me than anything. Even taking over House Reese. If I were to take over House Reese and we aren't for the people, what the hell does that even mean?
There are some people who are born to ruling, and there are some that take it. The ones who are born that rule from the heart seem to always do better, but there are also ones that unfortunately fall very easy.
Well, let's just say it is not my intention to be the latter. But what must be done must be done. Mara, I will be honest with you. Some say I'm a little bit paranoid, so I couldn't help but happen to notice the combination you got going there. But just know that I will not attempt to access that safe without your knowledge or consent.
If you would like access to this office and any written materials, I will give them to you immediately. I'm not much for bookkeeping. All you have to do is ask.
Then I will take ownership of that, just so that it is one less thing on your plate.
No, anytime you need access to the office, just let me know. I will let you in.
I will do as such. If you excuse me, I think I now have a conversation to have either with Shakir or with Demira, whomever I stumble upon first. And if I learn anything new, I will let you know.
I understand. Thank you.
No, Mara. Thank you. And with like a deep bow of respect, he excuses himself.
Okay. Yeah, and you just hear her place the files back in the safe and, engage the lock, and she locks the door behind you.
Okay. And he's gonna go towards where he would believe Demira is, but he will stop if there's any sort of inkling that he's gonna run into Shakir, and will pivot in that direction if that comes up.
Okay. Back to the grand foyer. Novier, the voice has come over you, and it has willed you to explain what you are. It has not, however, told you that you cannot move or anything. You have not been told to sit, stop, kneel, or anything like that. You are immediately being searched. Like that haze kind of breaks, and Demira is searching you.
Hey, Demira. What are you carrying on you right now?
I only have, which I probably put down on probably like a table or something, was the book that had the information for all of the servants of House Atreides, or now House Atreides, and also to their duties and like where they like their schedule. And that was basically it.
Trevor, how much are you going to let me like drama this up?
I have always stated that I am the unreliable narrator and the bookends of any story that is being told, and the story is that of my players.
May I pick up the book?
You are currently surrounded by two people.
Uh-huh.
And one of them is beginning to search you.
Yes.
The book,
Yeah.
Yeah, the book is not in a reachable spot.
It's not in a reachable spot.
Because
Yeah, okay.
I was actually where I was. I hadn't moved. Lyra was the only one that moved towards you. And then when Lyra, like, I was kind of closer to Jamila, who was actually doing the sweeping. Now back Aisha, I am so bad tonight. I
It's okay.
apologize. I am like having total brain farts. Yes, Aisha, who was cleaning up, so I would have probably put it over by whatever table or chair or something and set it down to head over to you. Now, maybe this happens while I'm almost in front of you. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, I was more so like I was gonna I'm in that daze, right? So like you were gonna search me for like a second, but once I come to, I was gonna run, grab the book, and Trevor, I'm really sorry about this. I'm gonna try to kill Aisha with it.
This poor innocent.
I know. I know, I'm sorry, but
Wait, what?
Death by
knows.
paper cut.
I thought that I was gonna be the one that was like, all right, how good is this subtle step? Never mind.
Aisha now knows that I'm an assassin. I can't fight two sisters. And the thing, but also I still believe that whatever motives they have, they're still they might not be under House Atreides, but it's benefiting House Atreides. Having Aisha know the information that I'm an actual assassin to get out to the rest of the staff and the servants, I cannot let that happen.
Oh.
So do you ever see that part in John Wick 3, in the very beginning of John Wick 3, where he kills the basketball player with the book?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I do.
Oh God.
I know, I'm so
Oh
sorry. I'm
my
so sorry.
goodness. Oh,
Where's the popcorn?
where's my tea? Is there tea here? Anyone?
Oh God. You have it. You have improvised weapon.
I have improvised weapon. My battle is assassination. And
Oh,
my truth would be there is comfort at the beginning and the end of a weapon. I need to make sure this does not get out. And Aisha is one of the servants that talks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
She is Aisha is a woman in her late 40s. Currently has a small whisk and a small thing, and is backed up against a wall.
I will try to be as kind as possible and make this as painless as possible for her.
Am I anywhere close to this situation?
I think you would be walking in right after it happens.
Okay. Just wanted to know.
So is that a roll or is this going to be automatic?
No, this is a roll.
Okay. All right, so battle. I'm using truth.
And you specifically
I
have assassination as a focus.
Yep. So that's
I
my
mean,
focus. And I have improvised weapon.
This is an untrained outworlder in her late 40s against a trained assassin and steward of House Atreides, who is a trained assassin and under the command of Thufir Hawat. This is a difficulty 1. For you, this is an average sort of thing. So yeah.
Let's roll for it.
Do you want to give me any threat in this?
No. I just rolled. So I got 2 successes.
Sisters, as you begin to, first, Lyra, you understand your use of the voice. You know that you weren't locking him in position or anything, and he says this. And for both of you, it seems like time slows down. You begin to search him. Demira, you set down that book just on a small end table. As soon as your hands rest on his shoulders, he begins to duck and twist out of the way, spinning his arm to grab that book. And in one move, he kicks out his leg, places his left hand over the mouth of Aisha that is suddenly gasping in surprise, and rams the book into her throat.
To add to this, when she does fall, like my hand is still on her mouth, and I try to lay her down as gently as possible.
And I think also to add to the dynamic of this, since the sisters do know how to fight as well, like, because immediately, like, obviously she doesn't know Novier's intention, right? Like, Lyra sees that you're going for a book. Lyra immediately whips around, like, almost in a pirouette, and stands behind Demira and like an offensive, like, stance. So she's protected.
I think that's probably the only time where Demira, because of the fact that again, like, I think it's almost like a instant moment as well, where Demira, because she's thinking that Lyra could technically be the target because of her having him reveal his true self, kind of almost like where it's like they're trying to protect one another, and then it's kind of like, wait, what? Like, I feel like Demira would look kind of like at Lyra and then at the situation, like it would be that instant of like, huh? Before
Yeah.
seeing what unfolds.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
definitely
you-
stand behind you though. So if
Yeah, so it's
nobody's
kind of
paying
like that.
attention,
And then kind of then Demira relaxes, but like
Yeah.
there's still that kind of silence in the room.
Yeah,
but I feel
uh,
like Novier is really insightful. And so I think you could probably tell by Lyra standing just ever so slightly behind Demir. I think you could probably tell that Lyra's not the fighter.
Mhm.
She could fight, but not the fighter.
Demira, he moves fast, but you know that in a foot race or in quickness, you can beat him. But
Mhm.
because of that beat of is Lyra the target?
Yeah.
That's when he gets away from you. And Arazu, you come around the corner from the office, and all you hear is like a quick few footsteps and a rustle of fabric and what sounds like a kind of like a weird thud and a crunch. And as you come around, you see Novier has Aisha, the housemaid, one hand over her mouth, book in her throat, and is cradling her to the floor. And Demira and Lyra are there. Demira looks set, and Lyra is behind her, also set in reaction, but not at any at all like ready to attack, more to defend. But that's all you heard. It was
would it be
quick
fair to
and
say through
quiet.
passive scrutiny that I could kind of glean who's responsible for what has just
Oh,
happened?
immediately.
Okay.
Immediately. No, you're a house noble that has like gone through dueling. Yeah. Something just happened and Aisha had to die.
I'm looking directly at Novier. I'm not even looking at Aisha's body. I'm looking directly at Novier. And you cannot see either of my hands.
I think he just starts going into assassin mode where like I'm assuming she's wearing something like some sort of cloak or something like that, so he starts wrapping her up in it and and with the sweet voice that you usually hear from Novier has gone down a couple octaves and without looking at anybody, like his back is to all of you, and as he's wrapping up this body, he says, I need to dispose of this. Either well, no, I need to dispose of this. And that's where that's it, right? He refers to her as this.
Mr. Novier, don't move.
With his back turned, Lord Reese, are you with House Atreides or not?
Oh, I am. I just need you to hold your horses a moment. Can you
Can I just
can you correct yourself?
only if you drop the weapons out of your hands.
Oh, I'm not holding them yet. I just need you to correct yourself. You need to get rid of her.
I think I don't think Novier makes the distinction. I don't think Novier makes the distinction. Like I think I think when what he is taught is when they are alive, they are a person, and when you have taken care of them, they are an object, I guess, if that makes sense. Like a not an object. Sorry, let me amend that. They're not an object, they're an obstacle.
Do you say this to Arzu at all? Or is it just like silence?
I think let me set this up. I think he says, in life, I am sure she brought happiness to the ones around her at times. In death, this may only serve our goals or work against them.
You see, those of you, anyone looking at Arzu, his hands come out of his coat. They're empty, and he kind of just folds his arms over his chest.
I think at the same time, then, I slowly turn around and I have my hands up.
While this is happening, Lyra lets out a high-pitched whistle.
Does my brain explode, or
No!
is that what's happening right now?
I was like, I don't really know what that does.
No, she's attempting to summon to the young servants that have helped her.
Oh no! Don't make me kill them too. I'm just teasing. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. That was a joke. Oh, okay.
Novia, you may want to move quickly, and I get the distinct feeling that that's not going to be a problem for you.
I'm assuming I left no blood, Trevor. Is that correct?
No. This was no.
Okay. So I
blunt force trauma rarely leads to any sort of
I quietly take the book and I walk over to the other side where all of you are, and I hand the book to Demira.
Demira takes it.
Well, now that we have that out of the way, do the girls come up yet?
You see Shala coming down the long staircase.
Without turning around, Lyra just finger points to the body, and without any questions, like, basically it's their first lesson of, like, they got to clean this up.
Shala comes down, and for a second, there is this kind of like she just stops and kind of takes in what's going on. And then this is strange. It seems she is far more open to you than anyone else because of the time you've been spending. And you're a very, very striking person. And you seem very loyal. You see this chillness, just this cold motivation just shift in her face and her eyes. Like she just emotionally turns off and looks at you and, yes, ma'am, and begins expertly wrapping Aisha's body. And she looks for a moment.
Dispose discreetly.
We have death stills in the city, ma'am.
Excellent.
And she just, now Shala is young, like mid-20s, but she's a hard worker. She is much stronger than she appears to be. So she just kind of shifts the body onto her shoulder. And it's still, again, Aisha is this late 40s, outworlder kind of person. But Shala just takes the load and goes shuffling off and around the corner. And I think that is a really good point to end this, as the sun is beginning to set on Arrakis. The afternoon has come and gone. Messages have been sent to contacts. Some friendships have been made amongst the staff. And strangely, the already skeleton crew of the staff here at the residence in Arrakeen is now 2 members shorter. This is getting very interesting. I hope you will join us again next week, because now I am put back in wondering, what are these agents of House Atreides doing? Or are they even agents of House Atreides at all? Please come back next week and help me figure out what's going on here on Dune Desertfall here on Modiphius. Thank you very much. Have a good night.